Hi everyone, I'm Connor Berkey, joined here by Lucas Glenn on OCS TV, and we are set to start the game of the OCS Eagles versus Watauga Harvest again in their young early season. The Eagles are 1-1, and Andreas DeLeon is set to kick. Ooh, there we go.
That's not what we want.
Okay, fixed it.
And here's Andreas DeLeon set to kick off to start the game. And the ref is talking to someone, so got a little slow start.
Here we go.
All right, now here's Andreas DeLeon. Here's the kick. Put it downfield and goes out of bounds at about the 5, so that will be a flag.
And we'll see how far the ref moves him up there. And the return man for that play was number 7, Lucas Voikas. And so, you know, again, for all the Ovilla fans out here, we know how last season ended with a tough loss to Harvest in the playoffs by 2, stopped just short at about the 4 or 5 yard line. And Ovilla did lose some players, gained some. So did Harvest, but you know, Avila's missing 4 starters today, and senior captain Aaron Garcia, freshman stud Avery Garcia, sophomore running back Grant Savage, and then Zach Lopez, which we'll get back to. So it looks like Harvest is going to be in tight. Snap to the quarterback, flips to his back, number 7, runs downfield, gets a few blocks, goes past Damian Saltzman, who's able to bring him down. About a 15-yard game. And again, that run was by number 7, Luke Voikas. And it was a good tackle by Saltzman, as it looks like he almost broke away there. And so,
yeah, he almost hit open field there. It was a nice tackle by Damien, number 88, just to bring him down, keep him from getting even more yards. And here's the second play. They line up in tight again. Man in motion. Here's the snap. Pitch back to number 9, who runs. He is brought down by number 41, Dylan Amon.
And it was the same type of play call by the Harvest Warriors there, I believe, and except this time it was to number 9, Jonathan Crawford, who got about 6. It's probably going to be about 2nd and 9.
No, Dylan Amon, he's going to have to start tonight in place of Aaron Garcia, I believe, or Avery Garcia, one of the two.
Or Zach Lopez or Grant Savage. We got lots of them out today. So,
so we'll see how he does. Here's the snap. Number 10, he hands it off to number 9. It's a fumble. He picks it back up and gets no gain on the play.
You know, that was a bit of a break for Ovilla.
Yeah.
Like they had a nice tight in the backfield. And the snap from number 10, Luke Young, as he tried to hand it off to number 9, Crawford, that ball just hit the ground.
There's another tackle made by Dylan Amon.
So a good little play is going to set Harvest up for about a 3rd and 10. We'll see if the Eagle defense can hold here. And there's 18 left.
Sorry, 3rd and 14, as it is 15 yards. And here's the snap. The quarterback didn't even see it. Bounces off his face mask. He rolls out, pursued by Alec, and he throws it. It is completed to number 14.
Looks
that
like
is
it's
short.
Just short,
yes.
As you said. It's going to be about 4th and 2, and again, in 6-man, I would completely expect them to go for it. And you just saw quarterback number 10, Luke Young, roll out with Alec Ramirez coming right after him, and he was able to stay poised and make that pass.
Those are 2 lucky plays in a row for Watauga Harvest. 1 fumble that was recovered by the running back, and 1 snap right off the face mask.
Hey, 7's a spread back. Look for a run.
All right, now they line up in spread here. Number 10 takes a snap, flips it back to number 7, who runs it up the middle, gets the first down and then some, and he is tackled by number 13, Brock Stukas.
You know, that was a powerful run by Luke Voikas. I'm sure we'll see him lots today. Stop was actually by quarterback, Drew Treadway, for the Eagles, who also plays on defense, but Harvest looks to have a very strong run game. So we'll see how that continues to go as they're in the red zone here. They're going to line up in tight with number 10 quarterback Luke Young.
And they'll line up in tight formation. Pitch back to number 7 again. And he runs in for a touchdown. There's a little option play there. He could have tossed it back to a man running even farther outside, but he kept it and dove right into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive drive by Harvest there. They got some powerful kids in their backfield, and as Avila's missing 4 starters, we'll have to see how their defense can handle this powerful Harvest offense, and I guess we'll see how the Eagles respond, the young team, without both starting running backs in Aaron Garcia and Grant Savage. And so Harvest is lined up to kick.
Number 10 takes the snap. Here's the kick, and it is no good. So it'll be 6-0 as Watauga puts up a quick 6 points, but they do not convert on the field goal. So the Eagles are about to receive a kick and have the chance to go up with a touchdown and a field goal, or a 1-point conversion.
And again, it'll be interesting to see what this offense holds. As we'll say it all game, we are missing 4 starters, with sophomore running back Grant Savage is out for the year with a collarbone injury. Zach Lopez is probably going to be out next week as well, as he did something to his shoulder. And then actually brothers both, so they'll miss the next 2 weeks. So yes, again, this will be a young, inexperienced group out there, and we'll see how they do with new starters on the field.
They're still led by quarterback Truett Treadway, number 12. He's just a great leader out there. You can see how he really has a good impact on the team so far. And we'll see what he can do with the team this week.
So Harvest is set to kick.
Back through Ovilla tonight is number 4, Andres De Leon.
And here's the kick by number 11. Put it back into the end zone. Andres De Leon receives it, and he is running, finds the outside, and he is brought down to about the 24-yard line, and he is slow to get up.
And that's not something we want to see, as already 4 starters out. De Leon, one of the returning he's one of our captains, one of the returning starters from last year. We only had 3 returning starters from last year. He's one of them.
Actually, 3 of our 4 captains are Andreas, if he's out here. That'll be 3 out of our 4 captains.
Yeah, and it's just, Eagles this will test their backups,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's something you need. You hate to see it, especially against such a strong opponent and Watauga Harvest. And De Leon does it all. He's a receiver, plays defensive back, he returns kicks, he punts, kicks field goals, one of the best kickers in the state. And, he still has not gotten up yet, so that's never good to see. As he gets a round of applause from the audience.
I hope he can stay in the game, as he is a big source of touchdowns so far throughout this year.
I remember in the first 8 minutes of the first game against Greenville Christian, he had 3 right there.
So we'll see what he can do. He appears to be holding his lower back. That's never been a problem for him before, that I believe. And so hopefully it's just a little minor injury and he can come back from it.
So it looks like the Eagles are going to be in spread.
The Eagles will be in spread with Truett in the backfield. Here's a snap. Pitch back to Truett Treadway. He rolls out. He tucks it and he's running. He is brought down out of bounds with about a 10-yard gain.
And, we'll have to see that from him tonight, especially in the spread. If he just sits in that backfield, nothing really is going to happen. It was a scary sight seeing number 82 Brandon Hayes from the defense just plow over 41 Amon. He's just a lot bigger than everyone else on the field. So they're going to go and spread again.
No feeding the animals. Yeah, they brought one both times.
Treadway continues to scramble, goes down the field, has some room, and is taken down by number 7, Luke Volgas. 30-yard line. And I'm sure we'll see lots of that from Treadway tonight.
I just like to see that. The past 2 games, we haven't really seen Treadway run. We've seen more of his arm threat. And, he's really bringing out his legs today. We'll see how he can do that throughout this game. He's kind of having to take the place of Aaron Garcia and those other backs.
Snap to 41 Amon to Truett Treadway. There's a defender right at him. He scrambles again, and he's taken out by number 7, Luke Vologas again. And you know, we love to see that from him because we haven't seen him scramble much this year. So we'll see how the Watauga defense adjusts to that, you know, because eventually they're going to realize like Treadway's got to get his arm.
And True got about 8 yards on that play with that rush. You know, those are just solid yards. If he can continue to get those, I will be completely happy with that. And it's pitched back to True Treadway. He throws it over the middle to Andres De Leon, who's blown up. There's about a 4-yard gain on the play.
That was a little bit of a scary sight to see De Leon get hit that hard.
That brings up a 3rd down for Ovilla.
Glad to see Andreas back on the field now, as his back seems to be doing all right. He just took a big hit and didn't seem to phase him. And here we go, line up and spread again. It's True in the backfield. Here we go, pitch back to number 12, quarterback. He's looking around, looks to throw, finds Andres De Leon for the touchdown, and he is brought out of bounds.
And
just before the goal line.
You know, Luke, last week, the humorous factor for me was when I said it was a safety on about the 5-yard line, and you actually said for the touchdown there. And
no,
so
I said, did I?
You did in fact say that, so I'll have to find that film for you. It's about 11 minutes into the game, so all you viewers remind me of that, as Luke said that it was a touchdown on the 9-yard line. And the Eagles are going to be in tight for the first time all game with Treadway under center. True takes the snap, hands off. No, it's a fake to number 82, Josh Bricky. Gets a few yards, maybe 2.
Number 82 on the run, Josh Bricky. Stop made by number 4, Joseph Isbell.
And the stop was made by number 4, Joseph Isbell.
2nd down and goal.
It's going to be about 2nd and goal.
And here we go, True at Treadway. Under center, line up in tight formation with Dylan Amon in the backfield. Has a handoff to Dylan Amon. And number 82 just jumps the play, gets in the backfield, and tackles Dylan Amon before he can reach the line of scrimmage.
You know, the Eagles really need a touchdown here. With such a tough Harvest defense, they're going to need to take advantage of the opportunities they have. Number 82, Brandon Hayes, has looked really tough on this defense. Hits hard, bigger than about everyone else on the field there, and just stuffed number 41, Amon. So we'll see what the Eagles have for him. On 3rd down, there's 3:19 left in the first quarter.
And the Eagles line up in tight formation, True at under center. And True is not able to hand off the ball, as some blocks were botched, and a few of their players were able to get in our backfield and sack True at Treadway.
What a defensive player we've seen in Brandon Hayes. He is all over the field.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down, and the way I saw, we were in tight there 3 in a row, and it just didn't have much of a shot as they blew right through the hole. And we're gonna try to go tight again.
If we're talking get the stop, this will be a big snap. True Treadway fakes the pitch and throws it just either short to Andres De Leon or over Alec. Okay, sorry about that. We had some connectivity problems. Just to recap of what you missed, Watauga had an onside kick. We had a little bit of trouble with it, but we ended up getting it. And then there was just a false start call, so it is 1st and about 20. And Treadway, and that's a pick, number 44, and he runs it in for a touchdown.
That was a tough play to see. Treadway was getting hit and wanted to get rid of it, and sometimes that's when you need to throw it away rather than try to find a receiver. And that's just something, as a young quarterback, you know. So it's going to be 18 Watauga to 0 Ovilla as they line up for the extra point. And again, we apologize for the connection delays. We actually just purchased a new hotspot system that isn't working, so that's a little bit frustrating.
Just a little bit.
So now we're using Luke's iPhone.
Yet again.
Snap is up, kick is up, and it looks like that one snuck through. So it's going to be 10-0 Watauga with 1:23 remaining in the first quarter. And, you know, it's just been frustrating. First quarter for the Eagles.
20-0.
Sorry.
Not 10.
I said 10?
Yes, you did.
No.
I believe. Okay, anyways, so there's one error for both of us. So it'll be 20-0 with 1 minute and 28 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Just kind of a hard sequence to watch there, as Stuart Treadaway had some pressure. He kind of threw it up to the closest receiver, and a linebacker was able to pick off that pass and run it in for a touchdown.
And, you know, that's one of those things you just got to see a little bit more poise out of him to be able to throw that ball away rather than trying to sneak it in there. Kick is up for Watauga.
And it's onside kick. Oh, recovered by number 42.
Luke Adams.
That was great hands on that play there. He kind of picked it up out of the air and then got hit. Was able to retain possession of it. Just good hands out of number 42, Luke Adams.
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
saw him came in clutch last game with a little diving catch made in the end zone for his first reception ever.
You're right about that. He came in a clutch moment as the Eagles were down by, I want to say 4 or 5, and Treadway threw one deep in the end zone, and his literally first catch of his football career. Caught one in the end zone for a touchdown. And again, I'm sure many of you guys saw the ending to that game. Didn't quite go out as the Eagles planned. Snap goes to number 41, Dylan Amon. Treadway rolls to his right, looks downfield, makes a pass to number 4, Andres DeLeon, for about a 16-yard game. Good little pass by Treadway there. So
Great
we'll
poise
see
by
if the
Treadway
Eagles-
there. Kind of feeling the pressure, escaping from it, looking downfield to find Andres DeLeon and connecting with the pass.
It's a good little play there. We had some good blocking in the backfield, which changed the
Yes.
aspect of that play.
So it'll be 2nd and inches, I believe. We're going to go spread here again with Sherwood in the backfield. Here's the snap to Dylan Amon, pitch back to Treadway. And that throws deep to number 8, Reed Sumrow, and it bounces right off his face mask.
And, you know, right off his face mask. That's a pretty good pass. Put it right there. Just couldn't come down with it.
It's a great throw by Treadway. It's just bounced right off his head. I mean,
Yeah.
what can you say?
It was right there. And, you know, Summer hasn't had the chance at wide receiver this year. And obviously with all those starters out, he's got to fill some shoes in this game.
This is a good call, good play call by Coach Hayes. I mean, he was wide open. There's nothing wrong with it. Good throw. It just a little bit of high, bounced off his helmet. I mean, what can you say? And there's a minute and 10 left in the first quarter. Treadway lines up in tight formation. He's under center. And he pitched back to number 41, Dylan Amon, who gets ripped back. And I believe that'll be a first down.
Good poise by Amon to hold onto that ball with aggressive Harvest defenders ripping it from him.
And that is the first down.
There's 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
Great run by Dylan Amon just to get those few inches that we really needed. And there's 47 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It is 20-0.
Treadway comes in with the play call.
It looks like we're going to line up in tight formation. True under center. And I believe number 82, Josh Brickey in the backfield. He gets the handoff, runs it up the middle, and gets about a 1 yard gain on the play before he's brought down.
And, you know, we just don't have as many powerful backs in the backfield with all those injuries and the Garcias on vacation. So there's 11 seconds left in the first quarter. The clock is probably going to run out. 4, 3, 2, and they're just going to let the clock run out in this first quarter. And it's going to be 20 Watauga Harvest to 0 Ovilla Eagles. And Eagles had a promising drive. Watauga capitalized on an interception on defense and a turnover on downs So we see how the Eagles respond. Is, in 2A, there's a rule, 45 mercy rule, where if it is a 45-point game, the game does end. And obviously the Eagles don't want to get anywhere near that.
Just kind of a challenging first half for us there.
First quarter.
Second
mistake
first
for you.
quarter. Dang it. Just a lot of defensive lapses, missed tackles here and there, as well as missed blocks on offensive side. That's kind of been the story so far, just missed blocks. That's the reason we haven't been able to score as we want to.
And this will be a really good test for the Eagles throughout the game, with so many young players on the field, with, again, Grant Savage out for the season with an injury. Zach Lopez out for at least 2 weeks with a shoulder injury. And then both Garcia brothers are in Hawaii. And we couldn't quite purchase a jet plane to fly them up here out of Villa Christian, as we don't have that much money. So.
She keeps looking at you every time that I come up here.
Second quarter is about to start. Treadway is going to be in spread. Summerow.
I apologize, I was waving at a baby.
Snap. Number 12 flips it back to number 41, Dylan Amon, who just gets hit really hard. He didn't have much of a shot at getting around him there. He's really aggressive and strong Watauga defenders. Treadway had to get rid of that ball very early, as there was a defender right in front of him. His only hope is just to kind of flip it away.
That's one thing Watauga has on us is height. You can really see that as True Treadway is struggling to get off passes. And here's a snap. True Treadway looks deep to number 4 and is just over him.
That was a good pass. Just left it right in front of him. Almost got his fingertips on it. It's good to see Treadway airing his arm out, especially in this game. There's so many areas the Eagles are going to be able to improve on just today.
It's a good play call. Andres De Leon had space as he was streaking towards the end zone, but, just right over his hands. If he had laid out, he might have had a chance, but, he did all he could. And here's a punt by Andres De Leon, received by number 11, and he runs it, and he's brought down about the 30-yard line by number 42, Luke Adams.
First time we've seen a punt this year from Coach Hayes. So Harvest is going to have field position about 50 yards away from the end zone.
And Watauga Harvest will come out on offense, line up in spread formation. And here's the snap, number 10. Fakes a handoff and then hands it off to number 4, who stiff arms and breaks a couple tackles, but is group tackled just short of the first down.
That was a really strong run, just plowing through Eagle defenders. 8:14 left in the second quarter. 20 Harvest, 0 Ovilla. And the defense of Ovilla is going to consist of Captain 12 Treadway, number 13 Brock Stukas, 41 Dylan Amon, 88 Damian Saltzman, 42 Luke Adams, and 87 Alec Ramirez.
Fast talking there. Nice. And here's number 10 lines up under center, tight formation. Here's the snap. Handed off to number 82, who plows over one of our defenders and gets the first down.
We just see the strength of Watauga Harvest. They've got some powerful and big boys. Amon's hanging his ground. Tough kid.
And here's line up in tight formation again. Here's the snap to number 10, who fakes the handoffs, looks to throw, connects with number 82, who runs it in for a touchdown.
And now it's going to be 26 Watauga to 0 Ovilla. We've just seen a really, really good Watauga team come out here. I know they lost guys from last year, but it looks like they replaced them right where they were at. And that hurts, especially with Ovilla only having 2 starters returning for this game.
And here's number 11 set to attempt a field goal. Here's the snap and the kick. And it is good. It'll be 28-0. Watauga Harvest has the lead.
Eagles are going to need an answer here. There's 7:35 remaining in the second quarter. And Ovilla does not want to get 45 in this game. As you know, we've seen a really, really good team from Watauga Harvest.
Yeah, a lot of big, strong, tall players. Just able to blow through a couple tackles and able to make tackles on their own.
And you know, that's the type of strength you'll see when you're going against one of the top 5 teams in the state in Watauga Harvest. The Eagles are definitely going to have to pick up their game as they have ambitious goals to go in the playoffs this year.
And here's number 11 set to kick off. And that's an onside kick recovered by 82 Josh Brickhouse, whose actual name is Josh Bricky, or actual last name is Bricky, but we call him Brickhouse.
Yeah, and you know, you probably heard that a lot. A little bit of Josh Bricky, Josh Brickhouse, Bricker Dicker Doo. Not really.
I don't think we've heard that one yet. Bricker Dicker Doo.
Bricker Snickerdoodle. So the Eagles are going to be in spread with Sumrow at center.
And here's snap to Truett Treadway, who looks to pass. And he looks deep to number 42, Luke Adams. And the pass was a little bit short, so it was able to be disrupted by number 11.
It was a good scramble and good patience by Treadway not to throw it away too early. He had a lot of converging defenders there on that play, as you saw. That'll bring up second down.
Truett Treadway's looking deep a lot this game. Something I kind of like to see, using in the whole field. And they line up in spread formation. Reed Sumrow set to snap to Truett Treadway, who's scrambling. Andres De Leon for the first down.
And you know, we see the great connection between Treadway and De Leon there, but I really want to compliment number 82 Josh not Brickhouse, and number 41 Dylan Amon. They had great blocks as, I guess you could say, giant number 82 on Watauga was coming after them hard.
Yeah, great block there by Bricker Snickerdo.
And I think all game long you'll see really, really strong pursuit by number 82 Brandon Hayes from Watauga's defense. He's already plowed over Amon at least twice. So the Eagles are going to be lined up in tight, which did not work for them earlier in a red zone drive. They actually got stuffed 4 times, correct me.
Here's a snap to Truett Treadway, pitch back to Joshua Bricky, and he's brought down with, I don't think, any gain.
And you know, that's partly not having our running backs, but it's also part that Watauga just has really, really strong defenders converging from all sides.
For what? For what?
Eagles are going to be lined up in tight again with Treadway under the eye. Snap to Treadway, fakes a handoff, rolls left, has some time, and throws it to number 87 Alec Ramirez, but that is incomplete. He had some heavy loss of words, you know, man, just happens. Heavy convergence from number 9 Jonathan Crawford. Heavy pressure, that's a much more simple word.
There it is.
You know, man, we're new at this.
That happened to me last game. I just couldn't find the word. I was like, sat there for about a minute just trying to find my word. And here's the snap. Pitch back to Trudaway. He rolls right, looks deep. And that is incomplete to Luke Adams, who limps off the field. He seems to be fine as he jogs back.
Sort of. He's limping a little bit. There's
Kind of looked like pass interference there.
Maybe. It's going to be 4th down. We'll see what they want to do. DeLeon is on the field, but he's on the far sideline, so he's probably not going to be kicking, especially at a 28-point lead here.
They line up and spread the Truett in the backfield, so they probably will not punt. Pitch back to Truett Treadaway. Heavy pursuit by number 7. Truett scrambling. And he is brought down just before the line of scrimmage. So that'll be turnover on downs.
Man, number 7, Luke Velois, came after Treadway hard all game, as well as number 82, Brandon Hayes. It's hard for him to get off good, accurate passes when he's always scrambling, always on the run, got somebody about to tackle him. So Harvest is going to have a fresh set of downs with 3:54 remaining in the second quarter, I apologize.
And the score is 28-0. Watauga Harvest has the lead.
And this is a good challenge for the Ovilla Eagles. It's their first game against like a top 5 team in the state. And especially with so many non-starters playing, they're showing some fight, some pursuit.
I like to see that. We did get a couple of pre-game interviews with the head coach, Greg Hayes, and starting quarterback, Treadway. Hopefully those will be posted after the game at some point, so you can view those anytime you would like.
And again, just updating you on our equipment status. We had ordered everything we needed to update to the nicer camera and everything on Monday, and it hasn't even shipped yet, according to Amazon.com, so it's a little frustrating. And then the hot spot that we bought today actually isn't working, so it's a little frustrating as number 10 throws downfield to number 6, and he is hit, but he stays on his feet and gets the first down there.
Yeah, the snap there was a little bit botched. He did fumble in the backfield, but he picked it up and was able to just roll out right and find a receiver downfield.
That was a really, really good play by number 10, quarterback Luke Young.
And they line up in spread formation. Snap to number 10. Looks for a spot screen to number 11, who runs for about an 8-yard gain.
Tackles made by 13, Brock Stukas. Good little screenplay there. Had some blockers in front of him. Eagles did a good job of getting him in the backfield there. And so you have, for the first time this year, two safeties in 88 Damian Saltzman and 8 Reed Sumrow. That's a look we haven't seen, as the Eagles will have 4 front and then 2 back. Here's the snap to number 10. Looking, has no pressure. Will scramble to his right, still has time, throws to number 11 who completes it, and Sumrow doesn't appear to try to make a tackle there.
Kind of a weak effort there by Reed Sumrow as he comes up to try to disrupt the pass, but kind of as 11 makes the pass, Reed kind of gives a weak effort to wrap him up, but he just goes right out and by.
It seems frustrating there.
And 11 is able to head right into the end zone with no opposition.
It's going to be 34 Harvest to 0 Ovilla.
And here's the kickoff. Number 11 set to kick. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is no good.
Just off to the right.
So the score will be 34-0 with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the second quarter.
So again, we will have all the equipment we need for next week. I guess the one obstacle we have now, Luke, is if this internet will work. Because as you guys know, the quality isn't great coming off of a phone, and we bought a mobile hotspot. but it kept disconnecting today. So in the second half, we may try to come back with that and see how that works.
I'm ready for tomorrow.
And so as Watauga is set to kick off, number 82, Joshua Bricky, is going to be back to return rather than number 4, Andres De Leon. This is a different look for the Eagles, maybe to see that De Leon won't be hurt again. So you see De Leon's on the far right over there, and then Josh Bricky is deep. Watauga is set to kick.
We have seen mainly onside kicks from Watauga Harvest, if not all except for one, I believe. So I would not be surprised to see one here. And he goes deep, and that is booted out of the back of the end zone. So we will have it 1st and 15 on the 20-yard line.
It's a pretty impressive kick there. Booted it all the way back. Again, I'd like to see the Eagle offense get something going with 2:51 left in the first half as Treadway gets the call from Coach Hayes.
Here's a very important possession for the Eagles just to stay in the game, as 45 is the
Mercy rule.
mercy rule, right? So if we want to keep this a game and take it into the second half, we're going to need to start putting some points up on the board. As we line up in tight formation, Treadway under center. We hand it off to Josh Brick, who runs it up the middle and gets a solid 4 yards on the play.
And you saw the ball come loose, but both refs agreed that it was down.
Yeah, he's down by contact. So Josh Bricky got 5 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the second quarter. And the Ovilla Christian Eagles line up in tight formation again. With a fake pitch, dive for Dylan Amon, but he is stopped at the line of scrimmage with no gain.
I think one thing the coaches have learned is they just don't have much of a chance to advance in the tight offense with all of our running backs gone and such a strong defense from Watauga. So I'm sure Coach Hayes will call up a spread play on 3rd and long with 1:56 remaining in the first half.
Seen a lot of deep throws or deep attempts by Treadway, and a few rushing attempts by him, seeing him pull out his arm and legs to just kind of show those off. And I've been impressed with them so far.
Yeah,
I've seen him make some deep throws, go on some good runs. I just like to see that.
Yeah, you know, Treadway has a huge role this week. The first 2 games of the season, we didn't see a lot of passing really at all. It was a lot of handoffs to the strong running backs that Ovilla has it. Again, are not here today due to injuries and vacation, in fact. And so Treadway's had to make a lot of throws, scrambled a few times, and I'm sure Coach Greg Hayes would really like to see a positive possession here going into the half, as there's 1:56 remaining in the second quarter.
Here's the snap, number 41, Dylan Amon pitches back to Treadway. He throws it deep and cannot connect with Reed Sumrow running downfield.
Treadway got rid of that ball quick as he had a defense pursuing him, and looked like Summer had a little bit of a step. The pass was just a little bit short to his right.
And it'll be 4th and 10.
Eagles will obviously be in spread again.
And I believe we'll be going for it again.
At this point,
And
you
there's
have
a
to.
correction for the clock.
They're going to change the clock from 1:33 to 1:45. And you know, Luke, one of the opportunities we're trying to start next week is actually a scoreboard on the screen.
Yes, that will be nice. Nice addition.
including a clock.
And here's a snap pitch back to Treadway. Looks deep again, but he is brought down and the pass is disrupted. It'll be 1st and 15 for Watauga Harvest as it is turnover on downs.
Number 45, Nehemiah Clements, came hard there, and Treadway just had to get rid of the ball. Looks like a little shaken up, and you hate to see that because that would be every starter down or out.
Yeah, if True Treadway were to come out, that would be devastating for the Ovilla Christian Eagles.
You know, I haven't even actually heard who our backup quarterback is this year.
I believe it would be number 13, Brock Stukas.
That'd be interesting to see the freshman, how he would.
And here's the snap. Pitch back to number 7. And he is running around, breaks a tackle, and jogs into the end zone for a touchdown.
I tell you, Harvest is just powerful. It's hard for these Eagles to keep up with them as they're probably averaging 3 or 4 inches taller and maybe 50 pounds more. And, you know, Harvest is just a little faster, too. And so it's one of those things where Eagles are giving everything they got, but they got some strong blockers. Great play calling by the coach for Harvest, Perry Myers.
And here's number 11 set to attempt to kick off. Or, sorry, an extra point.
Third mistake.
Dang it. And that kick is up off the crossbar, and it's no good.
That's something that doesn't happen too much. Well, I guess it does, but it was pretty straight off it there. So it's 40-0. Harvest leads Ovilla with 1:22 remaining in the first half. And so what may happen is either second half will probably start, and as soon as Watauga scores, if Ovilla doesn't answer, then it'll be a 45. As in 6-man football, 45 is the mercy rule.
We'll see as you can see kind of Ovilla losing heart here as the score is 40-0. We'll see if they can kind of pull some energy from deep within and kind of make the game last a little bit longer. We'll see what they can do here as we are set to return a kick from Watauga Harvest.
Now, it's been a long week for some of these Ovilla Christian Eagles. I'm sure they love to get a few good possessions together and make this a reasonable game. You know, as Watauga's up 40, that doesn't mean they have to give up. So Watauga's set to kick.
And here's a kickoff. Kick deep to number 4, Andres De Leon, who lets it go out of the back of the end zone. Or lets it go to the end zone. And that'll be touched back to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Ovilla Christian Eagles.
And if the game ends up going into the second half, we will try to work our hot spot again. So if for some reason you're having difficulty viewing, that is probably the reason, and we'll get it back up as soon as we can. We thank you all for tuning in to the Ovilla Christian Eagles versus Watauga Harvest at McCowan Middle School. The score is 40 Harvest to 0 Ovilla, with 1:22 remaining in the second quarter on OCS. Treadway takes the snap. It is bobbled, and it's on the ground. We're not sure who recovered that as Harvest points that way. And it's going to be second down as I believe the Eagles recovered.
Yeah, True Treadway was able to jump on it.
And you know, you saw the Harvest sideline going crazy there. I'm sure they'd love to get this 45 by halftime, and you know the Eagles definitely don't want to see that. They'd like to put a little dent in the score a touchdown real quick with 1:12 remaining on the clock. So see what Coach Greg Hayes has to call.
And the clock is rolling. We have 59 seconds left to go.
And the Eagles honestly might just want to run a few running plays and get into the half, you know, just start fresh in the second half. As Sumro is into the eye. Lots of pressure up front by Harvest.
True Treadway receives the snap. Looks to throw as he is pressure. And he throws it incomplete. He throws an incomplete pass. And that'll be 3rd and 15.
You know, that was a good play by Treadway to get rid of that, and not just get rid of it, but get rid of it low. That way nobody had a chance of catching it, as in earlier in the game, Treadway tried to complete a pass as he was getting tackled while fading to his right, and that's just a difficult play for the young quarterback to make. And I say young, and I know he's a senior, but I mean, this is his first year playing quarterback, and so that's what I mean by that, as this is his third game as starting quarterback. It's going to be third down, but there's 8 seconds left on the clock, so they're just going to run away for halftime, and the Eagles are just going to be able to start fresh. And we thank you for tuning into OCS TV.
Wait. No. What?
And so that last play was an incomplete pass. However, the clock manager was told to roll the clock. So we're not quite sure if there's going to be another play ran with 49 seconds on the clock. Again, it is 40 Watauga to 0 Ovilla Christian at McCowan Middle School. As the refs are conversing in the middle of the field.
And the offense and defense both come back on the field.
And there's going to be 49 seconds left. So we'll see if
4.9 seconds. Yes, 4.9 seconds left to go.
You sure?
Yes. Because you see, it would be up there. And yeah. I believe, yeah.
I guess we'll see. This could be the last play of the half here.
Here's the snap. Patch back to Treadway. Gives it to Dylan Amon, who was brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is going to be the half. Luke, you were right.
I know I was.
4.9 seconds. So we thank you for tuning into OCS TV. Again, as we go to halftime, it is 40 Harvest to 0 Ovilla Christian Eagles. And we thank you for tuning into OCS TV. I'm Connor Berkey, and we will be back soon.